up, huh? How close do you have to get? Talk to me! Joe, things go wrong. You can't explain it. You can't predict it.
Killing yourself won't bring your dad back. I'm sorry he died, but it was a long time ago. You gotta move on. Stop living in the past and look at what you got right in front of you.
What are you saying?
Me, Joe.
You finished?
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
You stewed, buttwad.
Me?
Know what time it is?
2?
Time to pay the fiddler.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra!
He must have uncovered our secret. Top Brass did what they had to do. Explains why we've suddenly come out of the shadows. Not a minor inconvenience, I might add.
Top Brass.
Oh my, yes. Tip-top. We had a good thing going, too. Waving the shield flag as hard as we could. I guess we'll be changing colors now.
For Hydra? You really believe all that crap? Spreading death and destruction?
I wouldn't say I'm a true believer. Let's just say I felt the wind changing direction and swung my sail.
Welcome, everyone, once again to a episode of NOC, or what we like to call the NOC.
The knock.
The knock. Everybody chime in there. Knock.
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 Matt Damon says knock.
A little bit of a Boston. Can you hear my gum when I'm chomping on it?
Probably.
I probably should get rid of my gum.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing.
Nerd Out.
Cast.
2 breaths.
So here we are once again, sitting in a small room around a little table. Who do we got here tonight?
In a hidden location.
Scalf.
What's your nickname?
Oh, the Ginger Ninja.
You just let everybody know who you are. Now you're a target. The Rev. Steve.
Rick the Trash Man.
Trash man. Taking out the trash.
And my name's Shannon, the tech. So how's everyone doing this week? I mean,
Groovy.
what did we do?
Great.
We have a good week?
Pretty good.
Pretty nice.
We did, indeed.
Anybody buy any new toys or, I don't know, any shoes or anything?
I bought Apollo 13 at Walmart earlier today
Really?
for $7.88.
It's a good movie.
VHS?
20th anniversary Blu-ray edition.
Ooh.
It's a good
In the
movie.
bin,
I'm
and
gonna
you
have
get
to
a
get
free digital copy.
Wow.
In the, like, 788 bin?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm going to have to check to see if it's still there. See if
The
there's
only
at
one-
least another one there.
I bought the only one. No,
Oh, okay.
no, there's more. But
You did
I thought
see
that was a
one.
pretty good deal. It made my day.
That is a good deal.
That's a good deal.
I like that movie.
That's, you know who directed that? Was that Ron Howard?
Ron Howard,
Yeah.
Bill
I like-
Paxton's in it.
I like his brother, Clint
Oh.
Howard.
Oh. Nope. Too early.
No, we're good.
Too early.
Too early. We gotta keep going here.
What about you,
Target.
Jacob? What you got going?
I don't know.
Any special news you want to bring up at all?
No.
No? Okay.
Any special someone you want to say hi to?
She's not listening.
Oh,
Yet.
she better recognize.
She will. What about Rick? How you doing?
Great.
All right. This is,
Doing
this
great.
is what we like to call a little good radio awkward silence.
I did
Yes.
get a Star Wars coloring book.
Yeah.
An adult Star Wars coloring book.
Does it say adult on the cover?
Yeah.
No.
Then it's
Is
not
it
adult.
like-
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is. Because it has those crazy patterns, right?
Right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
But is it like
Rick's
nobody-
got my back with everything.
That's
man.
right. Zealandia is real. We believe.
Hey, they've just released an article yesterday on their 20th continent that they found
Yeah.
I'm going to
In-
make a shirt for Zealandia.
in Idaho.
I'm going to make a Zealandia shirt.
It's a pre-continent that's like actually underneath
Yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, they
existing.
found land underneath land.
Yep.
That's good.
Wow. I forgot to mention we have a live studio audience this week.
Yep. We're right.
They laugh the same way.
Every
in the
time.
same pattern.
It's all right.
They're a paid studio audience, so they know what they're doing.
That's great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was.
We
Yeah. So now what?
we weren't expecting that.
I'm over it.
It's all downhill now.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on since we're done with our introductions. We'll move into a. This isn't really. I guess
Star
this is-
Wars Rebels yesterday was awesome.
Ah, man.
Like, you guys are missing out.
Dude, no joke. Gold Leader
Gold
came back.
Leader,
Woo!
the
Hallelujah.
birth of the rebellion.
Man.
Dude, it was legit.
It's
Mon Mothma.
amazing.
All right, what's next?
I'm in too deep of a hole to
I know.
start watching it now.
You need to watch it.
And I've already
shit
shared my
was awesome.
philosophy on that.
Well, you don't like cartoons.
No, those are fine. Whenever I get behind on a show, like 2 or 3 seasons,
You just
for some reason, and it's on TV, I have this inside
Yeah.
rule that says I cannot watch any of them.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I'm now too far behind, so now I will never watch that show.
Did you watch Walking Dead from the beginning?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's a good show. It's okay, right? AMC,
I
their
don't-
shows are okay.
I don't think it'll last.
AMC, yeah.
It doesn't have legs.
No.
Eh.
Not a lot of people watch it.
No.
It flops like
But-
Rogue One did.
You know, I have done that on a couple shows myself where,
Pop.
like, I've waited for them to go off the air and then, like, binge watch them on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
And then really kind of regretted, wow, I should have been watching this the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like, I didn't come into The Office till, like, season, like, 5 or 6.
Oh, I started at the beginning with that one.
And that, you know, and I look back on
So
it now and
funny.
just, you know, that's kind of like, I regret, that's one of my highest regrets, really. You know, that and probably not, like, you know, getting a bachelor's degree in something, but, you know,
Yeah, that's true.
that and not watching The Office from the beginning. Those two are kind of tight.
I like Kevin in The Office.
Kevin, yeah.
He cracks me up. Okay.
Okay. Well, you killed that, Rick.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, we're going to move on to our next segment here. It's a new segment that hopefully we won't be doing too much, but we may. From
Oh, the news segment. I thought you said the news segment.
No, we're not
New.
We're not to yours yet, but we do need
Minus
an intro
the
for
S.
this one. What kind of intro are we going to use?
Dun, dun, dun,
Fallen
dun.
icons.
No.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's called Falling Icons or Fallen.
I thought it said forward. Forward
He
icons.
said falling, like they're
Falling.
falling.
Yeah.
Fallen
There we go.
icons.
Fall in the past tense. So
Yes.
we're going to do this from time to time when somebody that basically is of in the public eye, when somebody passes. And this last week actually happened. It was last Sunday, I think, when we were doing the last show. We caught wind of Mr. Bill Paxton passing away, and we said a couple things there, but basically we held off until this week so we could reflect on it a little bit more. And so, what from his career really stands out in you guys' mind?
Twister. Twister was my favorite. Like, is one of my all-time favorite movies because I love storms and I love tornadoes, even though it's not scientifically accurate. It's still a great movie and one of my favorite roles that he's in.
And did a lot for storm chasing.
It did. It did. It
Did
a
tons
lot
for it.
storm
Increased
chasing.
increased like budgets around the world for it. I mean, you know,
Did you
all
see
kinds
what a
of-
bunch of storm chasers did? Did
Yep.
you see that?
No.
No.
ping their locations?
They pinged their locations and spelled out BP, his initials.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Huh.
The Twister ride in Universal was legit too.
Oh, yeah.
If I had a sound for crickets, I would use it like all the time.
Is that right? Does it still exist, or have they dismantled
I
that?
don't know. I think it's gone.
Yeah.
I think they put a Ghostbusters ride there, and then I don't know what's there now.
As far as being a leading man, there's not a whole lot I mean, Twister, yeah, he's a leading man there. Not too many movies where he
No.
was like,
Usually a supporting character.
yeah.
Usually plays a lot, you know, the same kind of a lot of villains, or at
Yeah.
least guys that you know that would be considered a villain.
Oh, yeah. I see it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet, man.
You sure that has nothing to do with British Petroleum? But, yeah, good times. One of my favorites would be, I believe it's Hicks from the Aliens. movie. He was great in that.
What's his line in that one?
Game over, man. Game over.
There you go.
I mean, you hear that. You hear that a lot. I mean, he had more than just that in that movie, but I mean, that was the big one. And I don't have that. Any other ones that you guys can think of?
No.
I thought it was cool that he went to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Even though it was a TV show, it was neat having a major actor in that TV show. So he was really good in that. I'm trying to think what else
Somebody
he was
just
in.
fell out of the window. And...
Oh, Titanic. He was in Titanic.
He was in Apollo 13. I tried to segue into that earlier, but
Oh, that is true.
messed that segue up.
Couldn't hear that very well. I think your speaker's on the bottom, ain't it? Isn't your speaker on the bottom? Oh,
Yeah, it should play good.
Yeah,
I heard it that
It'll
time.
go through.
good,
There you go.
good line.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of geeky movies that we would throw into the realm of nerddom with Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, he was great in that.
Yeah, small part, but a perfect part for him. I mean, he nailed that. Weird Science,
Chet.
Chip.
He's been in a lot of stuff, and
What?
it sucks that he's gone.
Wasn't he in the original
Terminator.
One of the punk
Oh,
kids?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
We'll miss him.
listen. Yep, he's gonna be a good. He's gonna be a good one.
He's a big good one day.
Yeah, we hate to see him go, especially the way that he went. I mean, that's kind of a little bit unexpected. Well, they're always unexpected, but his was from a heart condition that, like, something.
Yeah,
that
during
he's-
surgery.
Have they said any more else?
See,
Of,
I read somewhere that it was like a condition that he had it for a while, like maybe even like something he was born with. And but I read that off kind of like a janky website, so I don't know if that's true. But officially, no, I don't think the family has like made an announcement. And
Yeah, I mean
he
been a
did
lot.
star in a new show. I think he finished his filming for it
Yeah, he
for
did.
Training Day.
Training Day,
Yeah.
TV version of that.
Yep.
So at least he got that finished, and that should be coming out this year.
Well, all right. We need to. Is there any way we can document this, like on our Facebook account or something? Can we have like a fallen icons like memorial plaque or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Hatfield and McCoy's.
Oh,
Hatfields and
yeah.
McCoys.
I mean,
Oh,
he's actually
yeah.
been in tons of stuff.
Yeah,
Stuff that
he
I
has.
even forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Checking IMDb, a Vertical Limit. Remember that
Oh,
movie?
Yeah.
U571. He was in that
I
one.
don't remember him in that.
Every Spy Kids movie, I think. Thunderbirds. The attempt at that.
Yes.
Directed by #1 off of Star Trek Next Generation.
U571, Mighty Joe Young.
I said that one.
Oh, did you? My bad.
Yes.
Shanghai Calling. Two Guns. $1 Million Arm. Tons of stuff.
Yeah. True Lies.
Yep.
I forgot about True Lies.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Oh, yeah.
Tombstone. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
He was
That's a
great.
good Western.
Yeah. But yeah, we can post some stuff on
Yeah.
our Facebook page.
A lot of good stuff.
Facebook.com/nerdoutcast.
Yeah. So, yeah, as we move forward, we'll try to recognize individuals that have had careers in the eyes of the public, and not necessarily all actors and actresses. I mean, if they've had some sort of contribute to society, whether we could even authors or whatever.
Yeah.
Just we'll bring it to the table, talk about them, give them a little bit of respect that they have earned in their career. So we'll move on from there. And
Yes.
is that okay, Rick? You okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Scalp, what time is that?
Do you need a minute?
Certified fresh news.
Yeah.
I
There
get
we
excited
go.
just
Who's
hearing
first?
that.
I can go first.
Go
Rick,
first,
go.
Rick.
This is for Shannon Hiles. Where you going?
I'm still my gun now.
He just left. So can you hear me? I did this just for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so 2012, right? Yes.
2012.
Sequel to a 2012 movie. Shannon. 86% Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out March 9th, 2018.
Right.
Part 1 made 471 mil.
Part 1.
Yes, 2012.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Really?
Yep, I can't wait.
When's it coming out?
March 9th,
2018.
2018.
So in a year.
Yep, I can't wait, man. I love the first one.
Oh,
The
the
first
first
one
one's
was great. Yeah.
I love
First
cartoons.
one's really good.
Stevie hates cartoons.
That's one that I would put one that I really enjoyed. Incredibles, that one. Big Hero 6 are all ones that I enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, that's good because
Yeah.
sometime The Incredibles 2 is coming out. It's either 18 or 19, maybe 19.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
of course that's Pixar. And
Actually, isn't Ryan Johnson working on that? Incredibles 2?
I mean Brad Bird has been signed back on
Oh,
to
yeah,
be
maybe it was Brad Bird.
he's going to be writing it and directing it supposedly.
Yeah. Are you done?
I'll keep going, Rick.
Sorry, man. No, hey, what about you guys remember Tron?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Got the axe,
Sure.
the third part. Well,
Not
there's
really.
rumors that Jared Leto might be in a reboot of Tron. Disney is like asking him, and what do you call it?
In negotiations.
No, it's still in the
Creative
very,
stages.
very, very first stages. But
They're
I love
trying to find his phone number.
yes, I love the second
He's
Tron.
not
I love how it
answering.
looked. It's one of my favorite movies. Not like an awesome storyline or anything like that, but the effects were awesome. I love Tron.
It was. The effects were great.
Pretty cool, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything else. Oh, you know what? I'm a big fan of Hell on Wheels.
Okay.
Ensign Mount.
Yes, Black Bolt
Yeah, he's gonna be Black Bolt.
and the Inhuman show.
Yeah, so that's
Pretty
pretty,
cool.
sweet.
I was pretty psyched about that casting,
Yeah,
actually.
I
They're
love him.
starting that out with the movie, and then they're going to...
Yeah, the first 2 episodes are being shot in IMAX and will be shown in the theaters.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so there you go.
They're doing that upright. You know,
Trash out.
is that something that they should be doing more of? I mean, you know, occasionally if a TV show is really big, they've done it with a couple Doctor Who's
Yep.
where they've. And does that actually
And
work?
Sherlock.
Well, they've done it
And
with...
Sherlock,
they
yeah.
did it with Star Wars Clone Wars, and they did it with... I don't think that they did it with Rebels, but they did do it with Clone Wars.
Does it work?
I went to the theater and saw that.
Did you really?
Yeah, like by myself because nobody wanted to go.
I would have went, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah, a kids movie. I'm in there like a grown man.
Crying.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
That was the Darth Maul one, wasn't it?
No, like Jabba the Hutt was the main.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. They steal his son, right? That's what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
It was great.
I don't know. Maybe we'll be getting more into that. I don't really know how much, if that actually generates a lot of revenue for them or not. But
I have attempted to go to the Doctor Who ones. Just haven't been able to. I mean, I would definitely go. I'd love to watch Doctor Who on a big
They're
screen.
always in Indy, though,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah, I can never.
Yeah.
I can never work it out. But
special locations that usually we're not close to. Kind of stinks. Okay, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay, more?
Yes, it stinks. No.
Oh.
I gave you 3 solid.
You did.
I mean, I spent all day doing research.
Those were good, Rick. Those were
good.
good.
All day. It took me like 5 minutes.
You want to talk
do
about Snyder's new pictures that he released of Justice League?
No, all I know is the.
I have not seen those
the
yet.
upgraded Batmobile.
Did you see the Aquaman one?
That's the only
No.
one I've seen.
That's pretty good.
I'm not interested
good.
in
Actually,
DC.
yeah, I don't know. Oh wow, is that the Batmobile?
Yeah, it's like upgraded.
Yeah, that thing looks like a tank.
Well, so did the first. So did the
Well,
one
that's
in
true.
Can you
the
imagine the gas
but
mileage
Dark
on
Knight
that?
trilogy.
There's stuff all over it. I don't know. I hope this movie's good.
Me too. I really want it to be.
I know. Me too.
Well,
Me too.
I think we need to go into it with very low expectations
I will be.
yeah, that's all I've got really anymore.
for anything DC, unfortunately.
What do they have coming out before
I
this?
went
Wonder
into-
Woman.
Okay,
I went
Woman.
into Batman vs Superman with medium expectations, and I was still disappointed.
Until the Blu-ray came out, though.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray was good.
Yeah, that did change it.
Yeah, it did. It went from being. I remember that was like one of the most disappointing movies. When I walked out there, I'm like, was that really that bad? And it was until I watched the extended edition. I'm like, okay, that got a little bit better. Yeah. It rose it up to mediocre status, I think.
But at least it actually did. It got better because
Yeah.
sometimes I leave
Yeah.
the theater.
Yeah, it's true. It's
I
true.
try to make
That's true.
excuses for movies and be like, well, it wasn't as bad as I thought, and then I watch it a little bit later and think,
There's some really cool parts in it.
worse.
But I don't know though. That kind of proves our point that WB doesn't know what they're doing or get their characters because it was them that.
We'll see. If Wonder Woman is a wreck, as what the rumor is, it's gonna make.
I'm not even excited about that
I know.
movie.
I don't care about that movie.
It's got Captain
And it's
Kirk.
too bad, too, because they're good actors.
I
too.
know.
Yeah, they're
I
really
know.
good.
But I'll probably go see it. But I'm not
I'll go
excited
see it.
about it.
But
I mean,
You
it's
can
like the
add
Han
me.
Solo movie. I'm not excited about
Sean
that
Solo.
one.
You can already add me to the highest list of shame, because I'm not going to go see Wonder Woman.
You're not going to see that one?
No.
I will see it.
I won't even illegally download it. That's
Well, I would hope not.
We don't do that
Yeah.
or support that.
'Cause
On
that's
this show.
that is
We do
illegal.
not condone that.
I've been waiting all day to do
Okay,
that.
all day.
All day.
Wow,
He's practiced.
it paid
His
off.
couch at home.
Yeah,
All right, next news.
Wow.
wow.
Okay.
Next news, because we've only done one
Okay.
person.
Well, I'll jump into one here.
But are we having fun?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going smashingly. Came across this article online last week. 5 new brain disorders that were born out of the digital age. Pretty interesting. Let me go through here. Some of these you probably heard of, maybe you haven't. One, of course, is nomophobia. What is that?
What?
Nomophobia.
Nomophobia.
And one UK survey 73% of respondents felt this. The feeling of panic one has upon being separated from one's phone or tablet.
Oh,
73%
yeah, I have that.
feel it, and for another 14%, they panic. That panic spirals into pure desperation.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. There's also technoference. You heard that about one?
No, never heard.
Okay,
of
well, let me share that one with you. This one has been known to be dragging down relationships. Okay, 2014 study, more than half of the 143 participants said that tech devices interrupt their leisure time, conversations, and meals with their significant other.
I believe that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Further testing is that a higher technoference correlates with a lower relationship and life satisfaction.
Wait, for who?
For those who...
Oh, for the couple?
Yeah, for those. There's also the phantom ring or false alarm.
I've felt that. Yeah.
Guilty.
Yep.
What's
Yep.
that?
Well, yeah, the term is when you think it rings and it doesn't, or it vibrates and it doesn't. So it's...
Yep. Or you don't even have
Yeah.
it in your pocket. And
Yeah,
you feel
we all
vibrate
have it,
and you
Sharon.
realize.
Yeah, so it's like
We're all
among...
infected.
Okay.
Among 320 adult mobile phone users polled, 2/3 of them reported experienced phantom ringing. And one scientist even said, his name is Slimane Benzmaya, something like that.
Say what?
I probably cannot say that again. He says, what happens, I think, is that because your clothes are rubbing against your skin, you cause activity in the same receptors, and that activity is just similar enough to the activity caused by a vibrating phone that it triggers the learned association and the perception of a vibrating phone. There's the science behind it.
Wow.
There's also cyberchondria. Everybody's done this one. Okay? In the broadest definition, this refers to people who research and diagnose their own illnesses online.
Huh.
Yeah.
In fact, 1 in 3 American adults say they have used this
WebMD.
to self-diagnose. But for some people, who might already be prone to hypochondria. This can be detrimental. Here's how it works. They get a neurotic, go down a Google wormhole, frantically reading about every dreaded disease that matches their symptoms. A search for abdominal pain brings up the diagnoses that include everything from food poisoning to stomach cancer, and soon the Googler is convinced they're dying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, tons of them. The last one is called Truman Show Delusion. Based off the
Love that
1998 film, The Truman Show. Although, of course, that film is a dark comedy. I enjoy it. This is the false perception that their lives are being broadcast. Joel Gold, a professor of psychiatry at New York University of Medicine, first identified this in 2003. So, and he has this guy in the Popular Science magazine has a really interesting thing. He said this is actually, if you go through the decades, there's been something similar to this in every single decade. So, like in the 1940s, the Japanese controlled American minds with radio waves. That was the big delusion. Everybody's freaking out about it. In the 50s, the Soviets accomplished this with satellites. So, in the 70s, the CIA implanted. Sorry, in the 70s, the CIA implanted computer chips into people's brains.
Yeah.
That's a big fear.
Yeah, that happened.
In today's delusion fuel, and this is how Colin Lecker puts it. He says, take your pick of the Kardashian sisters, then compound it with a dose of the latest NSA revelations, and that's how you come up with the Truman Show delusion, all because of technology today.
Yeah.
So,
Coming from a guy whose name is Colin Lacker?
yeah, Colin Lecker. Not
Colin what?
not Liquor. Lecker. Lecher. Lecher. Let's say a Lecher just for fun.
Colin Letcher.
I also have this one, which I think is interesting, and this one's quick, but this is just the title alone is great. NASA to launch Solar Probe Plus mission to the surface of the sun to protect Earth from huge solar event.
Our son?
Yes.
What other sun would it be?
I
Well,
don't
Tatooine
know.
has
Upon
2 suns.
digging into the article, you see that the Solar Plus probe will come within 4 million miles of the sun's surface, facing heat and radiation like no spacecraft has endured before. The whole purpose is to study the corona, which they say is colder than the atmosphere or the atmosphere of the Earth. It'll be traveling at 450 miles per hour, and guess what they think is going to happen?
It's going to burn up.
It's going to burn up.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
So they're going to try it. They're going to spend millions and get it close to the sun, and they'll never get it back.
And go,
Nice.
hey,
So-
we need to make an announcement. Guess what?
Guess what?
Our probe just burned up.
Yeah. Guess what? Your tax dollars went to a good thing. We found out that the sun is really hot.
Yeah.
So
That's nice, right?
yeah,
That kind of came out of nowhere.
yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I don't. Yeah. The
Is that a question that needs to be answered? That's what I want to know.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, they've been saying for a long time that there's a massive solar eruption that could bring down our electric grid. So they just don't know when it's going to happen, but they believe it could happen.
So if it does happen, us knowing about it a couple hours before
Yeah.
it gets here, how's that going to help?
Well, it wouldn't be a couple hours.
Everybody
it
charge
would
your
still,
phones.
It would
Everybody,
probably,
yeah.
It would take a couple days to get to us. So if they could see it before it happens, at least a few days before.
Yeah. So are we talking like a solar flare,
Yeah,
radiation type?
be a
Solar
solar
time.
flare.
Yeah,
That's kill.
So yeah,
pretty interesting.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
that's very interesting.
Scalp.
All right, I'll go.
Want to add anything?
No,
Okay.
I don't have anything else
All
to
right.
add.
There's our show.
Yeah, we're done.
All right, so so Shannon and I, we played Battlefield 1 on the PS4 together quite a bit.
Oh,
Game over. So they've finally announced what all 4 of the expansions will be.
Yay.
The first one, which we know, is They Shall Not Pass.
is that a Gandalf one?
Are we serious?
Yeah, it's called They Shall Not Pass. Gives players the chance to play as the World War I era French army, fight across 4 French maps, and take control of the Char 2C tank, game's newest behemoth class vehicle. The second expansion is called Name of the Tsar, in which players will take control of the Russian army and ride with the legendary...
Name of Thrones?
No, Name of the Tsar. With the legendary Hussars taking part in the historic Brusilov offensive and Albion assault. The third is Turning Tides, which has a naval focus.
Oh.
A new destroyer and coastal class airship will be available, and players will take part in the Zeebrugge raid.
Those are my favorite type of raids, by the way.
Finally, the Apocalypse. Finally, the Apocalypse expansion will include the most infamous battles of World War I.
When's that coming out?
The first one comes out really soon. I think it's coming out like this month. The second one will probably be in about 6 months. And then they'll go into next year probably. So that's my first piece of news.
Okay.
Hope you don't have this one, Shannon.
I probably don't.
YouTube TV was announced. Were you going to talk about that?
No.
Okay. So Google announced YouTube TV. So basically, it's going to cost $35 per month. YouTube hasn't yet set a release date, saying only that YouTube TV will appear in the next few months. Unlike the free YouTube you know so well, populated by cat videos, how-tos, and myriad independent channels and shows, YouTube TV is a direct competitor to cable you'll have to pay for. It will deliver live local TV channels like ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC, as well as cable stalwarts like ESPN, the Disney Channel, Fox News, and Bravo.
Whoa.
That'd be tempting.
Disclosure, CBS is the parent company of CNET and Showtime. I don't know why they.
Are you happy with your current cable service? That's what the guy
I
at
use
Walmart told
PlayStation
me.
View.
I was going to say, this is what it kind of looks like. It's mirroring the ability to kind of like pick and choose. I mean, PlayStation View has like 3 different packages you pick, all over the internet.
So this is the big unknown: is the how does its channels compare? YouTube TV claims it's still negotiating with a few program providers to add channels. It says that the price won't go up if and when that happens. In the meantime, here are all of the channels it has announced so far. So we've got ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, CW, which I love, ESPN, CSN, Fox Sports, USA, FX, Freeform, Disney, E, ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPNU, FS2, Big Ten Network, SEC.
AMC?
They don't have AMC on there yet,
Uh-oh.
but that's probably one that they're talking to, I'd say,
That's gonna
because
be-
that's on PlayStation View. So
Yeah.
Disney XD, Sci-Fi, FXX, Golf Channel, so Showtime is on there as an add-on.
Oh.
YouTube Red, Sprout, FX Movies, Fox News, MSNBC, CNBC.
Is Disney XD there? Because
Yeah, Disney XD's on there. Yeah.
I'm not gonna miss Rebels because of this new.
So all of that comes with one package?
Mm-hmm.
for $30,
Yep. That's what they're saying so
Gee.
far.
it's time me
That's a
up
win.
already. Yeah.
So, and they're still talking to other companies to get in that
Huh.
same
Good
package.
idea.
So,
That's where it's all going.
I mean, this is the inevitable, right?
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
It's coming. The major networks are
And everybody's
freaking
trying
out.
to come up with it, yep.
Yeah. So how can you package this? I mean, yeah, cable's dead. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just holding on right now. I mean, probably when the baby boomers are gone, these are the people that are gonna the same people that don't really embrace technology. Once they kind of like move on.
yeah.
oh, here's another thing.
Oh, okay.
And this is huge. So, beyond the channels, huge. What else should I know? The features include with a YouTube TV subscription are similar to what is offered on other devices. Cloud DVR with unlimited storage.
Wow.
That's what I watch the most.
3 simultaneous streams per account. 6 user profiles
Wait,
with separate
how
logins
many?
per account.
3 simultaneous?
3 simultaneous streams per account. 6 user profiles with separate logins per account. Works with Chromecast, Google Home computers, iOS, and Android phones and tablets. Launching in select major U.S. cities only.
Well, we live in Bedford. We're
Not happening here.
The cloud DVR lets you record shows to watch later, just like a traditional cable DVR, and sounds superior to what's offered on competitors. PlayStation View's cloud DVR erases your shows after 28 days. Sling TV's cloud DVR is still in beta and only available with certain devices, while DirecTV's has been promised but hasn't launched yet.
Unlimited.
Yep.
I mean, that's a dangerous word to use.
Yes.
Google can use it, though.
My goodness.
So,
and Palpatine uses it too in
Yeah.
episode 3.
Unlimited power.
Oh. But it's still dangerous, though.
Yeah, he's very
Kinda
dangerous.
Throw that around.
See, I almost made the switch with Sling.
I almost did, too, but I
Except-
chose PlayStation View over it.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a couple of things about Sling, and I can't remember that maybe not do it. I think it was because I got such a good deal with my AT&T internet and Dish that, or DirecTV, that my internet with Sling would have been about the same price anyway. So, I mean, like, even that, if you have high-speed internet, it's still $40, $50. So still like that, plus that, you're still paying almost $100 for it. Which, I mean, is better. I mean, some people are paying close to $200 for it. So.
And I was thinking, I read somewhere that, like, add-on channels will be, like, $5
Yeah, like
extra
HBO
or
will be
something
an
like
add-on.
that, so,
Like HBO's like you can do that through Prime. You can add on HBO to it and get content for a certain amount a month.
so should be interesting to see what happens.
Interesting.
I doubt if I make the switch, but if they add more channels on there, then I might make the switch from PlayStation View.
That's good though. I mean,
it's a good start.
Yeah,
it's a very good start.
I think that's better than Sling start.
Yeah. I think they only had like 10 or 15 channels.
Yeah, then if you get like the other package, they take some off and add some others.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want one. I mean, I want every ESPN, every all that stuff.
Right. That's all I got for news.
I like it.
Okay, I got news.
Oh boy.
Got a little CFN. Hey, you guys see the Grant Hill commercial?
No.
His Pizza Hut commercial?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No,
So-
actually, I saw it, but I
With the
turned
shoes?
it.
With the shoes. So Pizza Hut has they're calling them, ready?
Yeah.
Pie tops.
Pie tops. Man. Brilliant.
And if you want, when you wear these things, and anytime that you just feel like the hankering to get some pizza, you just reach down, you kind of hit the tongue there where the little emblem's at, and they order you a pizza.
It's real?
These sneakers are real. Now, they've only made 64 pair. I think it has something to do with
I can just do that on my phone, though.
I know, but this links to your phone, which is you already have like a set up account with your nearest Pizza Hut dealer, and so you just kind of like pop it and sends out a signal, and if it'll show up at your house. Of course, you already have to have the order already made. It's one of those like what this resembles.
So you can have, I think you can have favorites on Pizza Hut's website.
Sure, yeah,
and so you can do that.
And all this is, which the commercial looks as fake as can be, but the shoes actually are real. You can't buy them; they're just giving them out to select people.
Rappers.
What these are Amazon Dash buttons that they've sewn into shoes.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's the same technology.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you look at I know we've talked about them here. The dash buttons just seem really unnecessary, but as we get farther and farther, along in technology, I mean, where are we going to start seeing these things pop up? They're sticking them in a pair of shoes as a joke, but in all honesty, it may catch on.
Oh, yeah.
You might be able to just buy, a couple years down the road, you're going to be able to buy a pair of slacks that have a button in them that you can hit and order you socks or something. I don't know. I mean, it has to be designated to like one item, but where else can you see these things being used? I mean, Amazon's already kind of got the niche, but I mean...
Well, really, anywhere that makes it easier to get, that requires the less work to get it. And that's basically what all this stuff is anyway.
Yeah.
Or I want it quicker, I want it easier, and I don't want to do anything to get it.
Yeah. I mean, any type
Pretty
of
much.
items that you use a lot of, like the dishwashing detergent or whatever. If you got a button sitting right there on your, did I say dishwashing?
Like pretty soon you have McDonald's French fry shoes, where you
Hey, you can sign me up for that.
bend over and press it, then the drone comes, bring them fresh from there
Yeah.
by McDonald's. And
Yeah, well, what if you trip though? Like,
what's funny is the
when
people
you
who
hit the
are
thing-
really going to want these shoes are the people who are going to have a hard time bending over to press the button anyway. I mean, let's be honest with it.
You just have to find a stranger and go, hey, you mind pushing the button on my shoe? But Rick does bring up another question. I mean, what if you accidentally hit him? Or even worse, what
Yeah.
if you develop some sort of short in it
Yeah.
where, with every step you order a pizza, you get home, you got 8,700 pizzas waiting on you. I mean, you don't
Well,
want that
Surely
to
it's going
happen.
to send something
Well, I mean, like the dash
like a
button.
notification.
The dash button's only...
Once you order something, it doesn't order it again until after it's been delivered to your
Yes,
house.
so that keeps
Yeah,
you from
yeah.
ordering a whole bunch of toilet paper when you don't really need it. Thanks, Rick. But no, seriously, I mean, you always forget to buy toilet paper. The only time you remember is when you're actually, like, when you need it.
On the pot.
Yeah. So,
I honestly was gonna get the Angel Soft dash button,
oh, yeah?
but I realized that the only thing that you can get is the 20 package of toilet paper, and I was like, I'm never gonna use that.
We walk in one time into Jacob's abode, and he has all this toilet paper filling up every room that he'll never use.
So yeah, I was gonna do it, but
Yeah.
you can only get the 20.
Hang on. There we go.
You can only do the 20 package.
Yeah.
They need to change that.
I know, because I only buy the 4-pack.
You should be able to take one of those and use some sort of like lightning, cord and program what you want it to order.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, that's what you should be able to do.
All right. There we go. We're done with
that's
CFA
pretty
for the week.
sweet.
Got through that. Not too bad. Anybody got anything else you want to add?
No.
I got something to add real quick. A few podcasts ago, I was talking about Mary Poppins.
Sure.
Pictures up with Emily Blunt. It
I
looks
saw that. She
looks
looks
awesome, man.
Really?
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about that movie.
That's next year, right?
good this year.
Yeah.
This year?
Christmas.
Oh, wow.
You have to listen to a few podcasts.
I guess I have to go
ago,
back and listen to our podcast.
and I'd
Which
say
we encourage
the
you
date.
all to do over and over and over.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, delete them, then
Yeah.
reload them.
Yeah.
That way.
And tell your
At
friends.
least we would appreciate if you did it 1,000 times for everyone.
Yeah.
That would help us out.
That's not, we're not asking too much.
That's great.
Well, along with that, we see that Logan had a really strong weekend for its Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
First comic book movie of the year,
Which was
correct?
great.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a great. I thought it was really good.
85.3 mil. I
But we
think.
can't talk about it too much because Shannon hasn't seen it.
Well, no, I mean that's
Shannon
not
the
it.
Tag
It's
hasn't seen it.
I mean, it's a movie that we can't really like recommend it. I
No.
mean, it is an R movie, and it may not be suitable for
No.
certain people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's
We cannot tell you that it was awesome.
no. You gotta draw that line for yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're a comic book guy, you're probably gonna see this movie. Most of us here at this table have already seen it, and
Yeah.
the rest of the table will see it eventually. So
Yeah.
we'll just
What
leave
was
it?
it? 85.3 mil.
5.3.
Yeah. What was it like? Was it 55 on opening night?
It did
On
fairly
Friday
well.
night? Or Friday night was like the big
Yeah.
night. Like
Yeah.
it was, as it usually is. Had a really strong opening night. So anyway,
And they say it has an outside shot of beating Kong next weekend.
Really?
wow, man, I don't know.
Depends on the drop.
You can't miss that one, Shannon.
What?
Kong?
Actually, I won't. I'll. Yeah.
I'm on
Next week is not a good weekend for me again.
So which brings up the list that I made.
Yeah.
It's called the Hiles List of Shame.
And
So every time,
it actually exists. I've seen
yeah,
it.
it's a real list. It's right here.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, let's look at it. There it is.
So every time we have a cool movie coming out, and Shannon doesn't watch it, the movie gets added to that list.
Now,
But we're
But
all...
he's seen some of the other ones. It's just because he
No,
didn't
no,
see it.
if he
that
doesn't
night.
watch it before the podcast, he goes
Okay.
on the list, and that includes any of us.
Okay.
Now, I will say, since last week we did our top 5 war movies. I went home and I finished 13 Hours. And
What'd you think?
I liked it. It's very good. It was done well. I got no complaints there, and I couldn't find this one anywhere. We thought it was on Hulu and we thought it was on Netflix. It's not. I bought it off Amazon, but I watched We Were Soldiers.
Finally,
Yeah. So I've
What'd
caught
you
up on
think?
that one.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was yeah. I like the whole, the Vietnam. It probably is the war that I see the very least of when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's neat. I liked it. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that I haven't seen it ever before. But yeah, again, Mel Gibson, outstanding.
Yeah.
Did he direct that too?
No.
Okay, he just started. Yep, there was a lot of people in it that I recognized. I mean, Greg Kinnear and that one dude from Marvel, oh my goodness, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's the main dude. Coulson, yeah. I mean, he was a lot younger.
Really?
Yeah, he got offed when he was helping load somebody onto the chopper.
Oh, Coulson.
Yeah, he always he just gets offed.
But he was back to life by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, okay. Then, all right, are we done? We done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with CFN.
Yeah.
Our segues are incredible.
They are.
So we're nailing it out of the
strictly
park
professional.
So we've got
Nailing it.
We've got a new one here. This one should be short and sweet.
Short and awesome.
It's a little thing we're not going to do. We probably won't do it every week. I don't know. Being it's so short as it, maybe we will do it. We're going to be calling this one
Lethargic phonics.
That was perfect.
My life will never be the same after
So
having heard that.
lethargic phonics is what we're going to call
I
it.
think the speaker's down there.
Yeah.
Speaker's somewhere here on the bottom. We're just gonna play this through our little iPad. We'll probably put the audio in differently. So this is just a short clip. This is actually from last week. Whenever we do this, we'll just take a small clip from the week before. What we do is we take the clip and we slow it by half, just showing all the fun things that you can do with sound. You can speed it up. You can edit it so we say funny things, and then you can also slow it down, and it just makes it a little different. So here, let's take a listen.
7 Earth-sized planets have been discovered.
Aw, Scalf. Come on,
That was
man.
gonna be my randomness. Oh, was it really? Yeah. I have multiple things. So. 39 light years away. I have 40.
That's just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
It is. And all right, let's think about this. Rick, do the math. Light travels at roughly 186,000 miles per second. Okay. So 40 years in a second from 40 years. Right. Yeah. So, it sounds like, in scientific distances, 40 light years is close, right? Mm-hmm. It is close. In cosmic distances. Yeah, but that's right down the road. That's like Hardee's. It's about 12 parsecs. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, there we go.
That was awesome.
Wow.
That's the
Wow.
best segment in the history of.
We just kicked it up a notch
Podcast.
on that one.
Okay.
Wow.
That went from a
Yeah.
incredibly great start to now it actually is a good podcast.
Hey, that was pretty good.
And-
Where do you guys want to go next year? San Diego, Chicago?
I don't.
Because after this, we're going to be getting calls to that number that Scalp doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got any comments, just
Wow.
put that on our Facebook account.
Wow.
Yeah, I kind of liked how we referenced a distance as from here to Hardee's. because that doesn't mean a whole lot to too many people. You know, for everybody that's listening, there is a Hardee's within like walking distance of here. So, anyway,
Awesome.
There you go. There's a new little segment, Lethargic Phonics. We'll see. We'll see if we ever revisit that again. So we're gonna move on. And
That is a winner.
And it is now time for the main event. Do we have I don't know. Do we have anything for the main event?
Main event.
The main event.
The main event.
Main event.
Wow.
Good enough.
I'm still catching my breath from that last thing. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh man, that was great.
Wow, yeah.
I need my inhaler.
So, Steve, what are we talking about this week on our the main event?
Well, I don't know. No, just kidding. I believe we are going into a discussion on how science fiction precedes science fact.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
This should be great.
It's gonna be awesome.
Now,
yeah.
Now, we can all agree that basically everything that we have right now would be considered science. The fact that we have iPads sitting on this table and we're talking into microphones, we have a laptop computer over there, all this was considered science fiction at some time in our past.
Yes.
So, we realize that. But we're going to just specifically talk about different things that we've kind of like been assigned. Some of them are just guesses that people had made in the past and had those things come true. Some stuff I think we've pulled from movies that was like just
Star Trek.
Yep. So we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Okay, who's going first?
I can go first.
Throw something out there.
I mentioned this.
Do it.
Throw
I
something
mentioned this a few podcasts ago. 1966. Lieutenant Uhura from Star Wars.
Yeah.
From Star Trek, not Star Wars.
Don't say that.
Yes.
You cannot make that
She is
mistake.
the communications officer, so she has a Bluetooth in her ear. In this is 1966, Shannon. This is a long time ago.
Man, that's
this was a long
11
time ago.
years before I was even a thought.
Pretty much. It's even before Star Wars, which is
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet. 1987, the Next Generation, they had the PADS, Personal Access Display Device. What do you think those are now? There's 4 here on the table. They're like smartphones and tablets and all that.
What did they call them?
PADS, PADD,
So they-
Personal Access Display Device.
That's cool.
So yeah, this is all Star Trek, and I got one more from Star Trek that it's one of my all-time favorites because I love Bones.
Yeah.
The hypo spray.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about?
The shot thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do they have a real one in real life?
Do we?
No, somewhat.
Okay.
But no, they have jet injectors. So they use high pressure. Wait, hold on. Yeah, high pressure. The liquid goes in the
So
skin.
they give
using
you a
high
shot, and it's through
Right.
PSI.
It's awesome. So
How do they control the depth?
They use. Well, you going too deep, man. I barely read the articles I just read them to get by, so y'all leave me alone. But it's pretty sweet, man. So no needles. It uses compressed air.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet, man.
Does it hurt?
No,
Don't feel it?
no. I've never had one. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's pretty sweet. Star Trek. Star Trek is awesome.
Yeah.
And there's so many things from Star Trek that have.
Yeah, NASA's been working on a holodeck since
Oh yeah.
the late 1990s.
Yeah, and the tricoders and
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
and the universal translators and all that stuff. Which
Well, remember the visor that
Oh,
I
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about
Jordy?
a couple weeks ago?
Jordy's visor.
yeah, from Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
He uses that to read books.
Rainbow.
And see, all this technology talk, just, you kind of, like needles. Needles, to me,
Yeah.
is such a archaic way of getting the job
Yes.
done. It's right up there with a proctology exam.
It's so, it's so offensive.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm upset by it.
We can put like, pods and stuff like in the outer parts of our galaxy, taking pictures and sending them back to us. But there's only one way that doctors know how to check a prostate right now. It's like we should be able to have
How's
a
that?
better way of doing that,
Yeah.
or just getting a shot for like a little kid. Maybe these PSI guns that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Nanotechnology, my friend.
Nano.
Nanotechnology.
Yeah, but we're still away. I mean, does that exist yet? I
We're
mean,
closer than what you think.
Very.
Yeah.
oh,
like
I mean,
tomorrow.
I know we talk about it a lot. Okay, sorry, Rick.
What?
We just kind of.
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Cool.
Stevie's is way cooler.
All right.
I don't know if mine's cooler, but I went with like the not necessarily shows, but like famous sci-fi books of yesteryears. One being in 1865, Jules Verne published the outlandish novel From the Earth to the Moon,
Yeah.
in which 3 Americans are fired into space in a gun. In his story, 3 men launch a lunar vessel called the Columbiad, weighing a little under 20,000 pounds at a cost of $5.5 million.
Wow.
A century later, America did send 3 men to the moon in the command module Columbia, which weighed 26,300 pounds at a cost of $16 billion. To cap it all off, Verne's estimate of $5.5 million was equivalent to about $13 billion in 1969. That's how close he was.
Man.
That's pretty sweet.
Also, I mean, there's so many things about H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells predicted automatic sliding doors in 1899 and the atomic bomb in his novel The World Set Free in 1913. Isaac Asimov, however, made some startling accurate predictions about 2014 in his essay Mark the 1964 World's Fair, which included global video calling, robots that would neither be common nor very good in 2014, flat screen TVs, and early 3D and self-driving cars.
Wow.
So that is Isaac Asimov.
I mean, how?
Pretty cool.
I know that if you just throw enough stuff at the wall, something's going to stick. But it seems like these guys had a really good idea that this stuff was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And so they look at what's around them at the time and the technology that exists then, and they just kind of like they amplify it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can figure out. I mean, how can you look at something as small as like a phone and go, one day we're going to have these little bitty devices that you can just talk, walk everywhere and talk, and there'll be no getting away from it. I don't know. It just blows my mind.
Next.
What do you got, Shannon?
Oh.
Because I'm just gonna. I've got this.
I have a
timeline
book.
here that
I have a
I
book
found
just
was
like
pretty
Stevie does. This was a 1968 science fiction novel called Stand on Zanzibar. Now, this dude, I didn't really write his name down. Berner. He wrote this book, and it was in a vision of the story. Actually takes place in 2010, which was a couple years ago. But he got a couple things right. Actually, they listed about 19 things that were surprisingly correct in this book of his. I'll just hit a couple good ones. Let's see. There was he calls out random acts of violence by crazy individuals that take place at our schools. He calls out there's a major source of instability and violence that comes from terrorists, and they are able to attack our cities and buildings inside the U.S. He also talks about how in 2010 the prices of everything will be up 6-fold from 1960, and it was actually 7-fold is what it turned out to be, but he was pretty good in that guess. He also predicted our rivals would no longer be the Soviet Union. But China and other areas like that. He talks about how people would be getting away from marriage and how the younger generation would prefer short-term hookups and no commitments through long terms. He predicted, let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorites. He predicted that motor vehicles would be running on like electric fuel cells in the future, which is no big stretch. I mean, battery power's kind of been around for a while, but the two things that he picked General Motors would be a leading industry of it, which in 1960, General Motors made a lot of cars. They've been around for a while. But the other one he picked was Honda, which at the time, Honda was only basically making motorcycles. Honda wasn't as big as they are now. They make lawnmowers, they make generators, and Honda is the leading industry when it comes to like electric vehicles. And he nailed that back in 1960. He talks about Detroit being a ghost town from all the factories being closed. He talks about new TV news channels are global via satellites. there's a TV type style for TV programming that people can watch at their own schedule. He also talks about how people have avatars that represent themselves on video screens. They call them Mr. and Mrs. Everywhere. Computer documents are generated with laser printers then. And he also predicted that there'd be a huge social and political backlash on tobacco and how it would not be cool in 2010 and basically be dying off. But he also predicted that marijuana would be decriminalized, which there's multiple states that have already, legalized that. Wow. The big one though is that in 2010 he had a president that was called Obama, Obomi, would be the leader of America in 2010.
That's spooky.
Not Obama, but Obama. Yeah, I don't even think Barack Obama was probably, 6 when this book was written?
Yeah.
So, pretty cool stuff that he just kind of just threw out there and nailed it. Is that right? Yeah. But I also looked up a little bit of stuff on real-life tractor beams. Have you guys seen this stuff that they've been doing with sound waves?
Yeah.
Controlling objects through, most of us here at this table are, we're infatuated with sound, whether we play music or listen to music or
scream.
Or yes. But they can manipulate objects through high and low pressure that travel through a medium such as air, and these high and low pressure waves produce force. So they can actually pick up items, sustain items like in midair, just through sound waves. And they're looking at how they're going to be able to direct things, in the future. They'll be able to actually maybe pulling something is not as easy as pushing, obviously, but they can create waves on the left side and right side of objects to stabilize them. It's pretty neat. I've not seen any videos on it, but they've done some tests and sound waves of all the different things. I mean, lasers they've played with. What's the other one? Superconductive magnets, magnetic fields. Obviously they've been playing around with them. They can suspend like a frog.
Yeah.
But sound waves is pretty cool. It sounds like
and I think for even like the laser as a tractor beam, I think they could only do, as of 2014, only like 20 centimeters. So they could move something, but it wasn't, like it was like the size of a pea, only a certain amount of time, or
time and distance.
Yeah.
But
it's neat.
Yeah, they're playing with it, which means they'll get better. They'll figure it out. What are you looking at there, Scal?
This is a pill. It's a camera instead of invasive scopes. Basically, kind of like what you were talking about. It's an endoscope pill.
I'm down with that.
So instead of having something, instead of being probed,
I'm offended.
a small SD card and antenna worn in a vest wirelessly stored the information sent by this tiny 2-megapixel camera.
2 megapixel?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's as good as they can do?
Yeah.
Well, look how small it is.
Give me a
No,
break.
but it's going to be a pretty grainy picture.
Give me a break, guys.
Print your own customized 3D tooth mold to brush your teeth.
What?
Billed as being able to brush your teeth in 6 seconds, Bizident requires a custom mouth mold from your dentist and access to a 3D printer. You can brush your teeth with that. Scientists have created a Matrix-esque artificial womb.
Oh, that looks creepy.
It does, doesn't it? Program allows user to remotely move objects with their hands. Remember those pin art toys from your childhood?
No.
Now add MIT technological know-how and you get the Inform Display surface. Using a Kinect sensor to track the user's movements, the computer then moves the associated pins. Kind of cool, huh?
That's cool.
Wow, so you can hold your girlfriend's hand over long distances?
I guess.
Wonder who that'll help.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
So I found this timeline of a bunch of books that have forecasted the future. So Gulliver's Travels, said that Mars had 2 moons. We found that out. And Gulliver's Travels was published in 1735.
Jeez.
We found out that we discovered Mars' 2 moons in 1877. Stevie mentioned a few of these. Looking backwards, by Edward Bellamy, he in 1888 predicted credit cards.
Wow.
In 1950, credit cards were invented. Did you mention the book In the Year 2889?
No.
Okay. In the year 2889, Jules Verne predicted in that it was written in 1889. She predicted, or he, is it a he? Predicted skywriting. So, which is where the plane spells out different words. First at San Francisco Air Shows in 1915. And then video chatting, phonotelephone, telephote or whatever. 1964, AT&T debuts picture phone at 1964 World's Fair.
And who did it say that one? Which one was that one?
Jules Verne, same book, in the year 2889.
Oh, wow.
The book was
That's
written in
pretty sweet.
1889. H.G. Wells, The Land Ironclads, he predicted in 1903 tanks. Did you already say that one?
No, but
First time used was 1916. In 1910, The Achievements of Luther Trant, written by Edwin Balmer and William McHarg. They predicted the lie detector test. The first polygraph was used in 1924, so just 14 years later. Let's see here. You said atomic bombs. Voicemail, Men Like Gods, written by H.G. Wells in 1924. He predicted voicemail.
Right.
Voicemail was popularized in 1980. Let's see here. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley in 1932 predicted mood-enhancing drugs. So in 1950, antidepressants first were popularized. Genetic engineering, he predicted that as well in the same book. And first DNA manipulation was in 1972.
That's a lucky guess there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
1984 by George Orwell in 1940s, it looks like. Widespread invasive government spying. 2013 NSA domestic spying scandal. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury.
He has a bunch.
In-ear headphones. He predicted those. 2001, Apple released their earbuds. 2001, A Space Odyssey. In 1950, Arthur C. Clarke predicted communication satellites first launched in 1965. Okay, so did you say Stand on Zanzibar?
Mm-hmm.
What did you mention?
I don't remember.
Did you mention on-demand TV,
Yes.
satellite TV,
Yes.
laser printers,
Yes.
proliferation of electric cars,
Yes.
the EU?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
They predicted the European Union, and in 1993 it was formed.
Huh.
Um,
Just had to one up me, didn't you?
vilification of the tobacco industry.
Yep.
Yes.
And Detroit falls into poverty.
Were you here?
No,
I mean,
I
were you
was-
part
I
of
was
this?
getting something to drink.
He was reading all
I was
his.
getting something to drink.
Just in case you didn't get the first time.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
Well,
by
bam.
Douglas Adams.
Of course.
Real-time automatic audio translation, which Rick mentioned earlier. 2014, audio translation apps proliferating.
Boom. No, I thought of another one too. Coming from like the Star Trek era, the replicators are just, we've got those already. They're called 3D printers. I mean,
Yeah.
they're pretty, I won't say they're common. I mean, we don't have them sitting in our living room yet, but they're pretty common as far as the industry goes. If you want something, you just basically put a program in and it'll print it out for you.
And one thing about tanks too, actually, Leonardo da Vinci has the first plans
Oh,
for
yeah.
a tank.
He also had a submarine,
Yep.
too, I think. And a flying machine.
And he had a flying machine. Yeah. Da Vinci was, yeah.
So,
Like he was.
where do you guys see science fiction changing into science fact in the future?
Well, there's some obvious ones that I don't think will ever. I mean, like teleporters seems to be something that probably will never work.
Quantum entanglement.
There you go. I don't really remember what that involved with, but yeah. So that probably won't happen. But I mean, it'd be cool if it did.
It'd be great.
Yeah. Anything to do with traveling faster than the speed of light probably isn't going to happen. Right?
You don't think so?
Yeah, I that one's gonna be stretch. I think.
Well, I mean, what about wormholes?
You got to find one
Yeah.
first.
Well, you have to make one.
You have to make one?
Yeah, you have to. The wormholes don't come out naturally. They have to be made.
Okay, so we can make one first.
Yeah.
So that's probably even farther off.
But that's not.
It ain't
A
gonna fly.
wormhole isn't about speed, though, is it?
It's not.
It's just about.
It's 2 points. 2 points, and you're basically bending and stretching space and time.
Yeah.
So.
Like the folded piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I kind of want Jeff Goldblum to explain that to me in person.
Even if he makes it up,
Yeah.
it'd be good
Just
to hear it.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a good Jeff Goldblum impersonation?
I don't.
You need to add that
I'm-
into your next.
You do have one.
I'm
You
here,
do it all the time.
You use it all the time.
sitting by myself, talking to myself.
Yeah.
Now, hey, Shannon, help me out with something.
Sure.
Because you're a pretty smart dude.
Sure.
NASA has that.
What? I'm not.
Well, Shannon's an engineer.
That doesn't matter.
He's the tech, though.
I do have the tag.
So NASA has that Deep Space One. It's an unmanned spacecraft.
Sure.
So it uses ion propulsion, like the TIE fighters. Can
Yeah.
you explain that to me? Because I didn't get it when I was trying to read it.
Well, what it does is it takes ions from the front
You don't know either, man.
and it pushes them out the back. I watched a special on it, and the special I saw was like specifically talking about everything Star Wars that has came into existence, and ion propulsion is one of those things. I mean, Star Wars talked about it, but it exists. It's
not that fast.
No. It's not. But in outer space, you don't have to worry about it since you have no atmosphere. You don't have anything pushing against you.
Yeah.
So if you can have if you can slowly make a little bit of force being exited out the back, you will slowly build speed, and it'll continue to build speed until you're going a lot faster than probably what you want to go. And it uses very low. It doesn't need a whole lot of energy.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yes. What about did you look into plasma shields and all?
No, but Navy is testing out a laser cannon.
They are
in their destroyers, so that's pretty sweet.
They have did you see the low grade laser cannons that they actually mount on like Humvees and stuff to like they can detonate bombs that they find at a distance?
I only saw the
That's
high ones.
really cool.
Yeah, I mean if they know where it's at, they just kind of shoot it. It heats it up and. Sorry, I missed that. What'd I miss?
I don't know.
I said a really lame joke,
I
like most of them. So.
I'm sorry.
It was so lame we didn't listen.
Yeah, well, that's. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be something to look forward to when I listen to this podcast again.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. But no, they've been able to replicate a small plasma field that obviously, you watch these sci-fi movies like Star Wars where they just kind of fly their ship. They don't have doors that open and close. It's just they're looking out into outer space, and that's supposed to be like some sort of plasma type technology. And they've been able to create like a small, I think it's like a quarter shape diameter plasma field that actually can hold back liquids. It can hold back atmosphere. It can hold back.
Wow.
And it's just being generated through that type of technology. So there's actually nothing there, but it's, you could even put your finger through it if you wanted. And so,
Wow.
But no,
Wow.
no lightsabers as of yet.
That'd be great. Because I want
The
one
problem
really
with
bad.
lightsabers is they don't have a stopping point. They can't figure out. They wouldn't be able to figure out how to make a stopping point because plasma just keeps going.
That's true.
We're like dead serious about these.
Heck
Because
yeah.
I want a lightsaber.
So do I.
Who doesn't? If you don't, let us know in the
Boy. Yeah, we
comments on the Facebook page.
Call the number.
Call the number. We can't tell you what that is, but find out and call it.
It's in episode 4. If at the end, Scalf says it.
I mean, okay, if you had a lightsaber right now, what would be the first thing you'd do with it?
Customize the handle.
I wouldn't use it on anything. I just
No,
make
yeah,
it look really cool.
Basically, I wouldn't
Dude,
use it. I'll just
think
like
about how
have the handle
I'd be-
to look cool.
you could cut down trees.
I know
in
I'd be
no
out in my
time.
yard getting all the low limbs that like hit me when I mow. I'd be taking all those things down.
That's great, man.
I would find something every day to
I would too.
rip
Yeah.
apart.
I mean, think about what it would take the place of. You wouldn't need can opener anymore.
No.
Just get rid of that thing. Yeah.
And you can warm it up at the same
Yeah.
Yeah,
time.
your microwave don't need any more.
Yeah, just
Just-
yeah.
If you have a can of soup, you just you dip the lightsaber in it.
I mean, if you do cut off a limb, then it cauterizes it right
yeah.
away. So.
I mean, you can make a killer. Like instead of one piece of toast, a full loaf.
You do the whole
Oh.
loaf.
That
Man.
sounds yummy.
See,
I want a lightsaber.
Yeah.
I think there's a
Just
market.
the amazing ideas that we're coming up with right now for it.
We're heading straight
Definitely a
to San
market
Diego
for it.
Comic Con after this podcast. I'm telling you. I'm predicting that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll get working on that.
Yeah.
Um.
That's some good stuff.
Well. Okay. Then that's really all I had. What else do you guys have on that?
Well, the only other one I found that I didn't share was invisibility clokes.
Yes. I saw some of that.
From metamaterial, scientists can wrap light around objects and turn them invisible. Strangely enough, it's easier to make large structures out of metamaterial than it is to make small ones. So theoretically, you can turn an entire event invisible if it took place within a metamaterial structure.
Isn't that so cool?
That's killer. If you can see the picture of the girl with the
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's cool.
with an invisibility cloak on, that's very cool.
Yeah, the military will definitely be using that for.
Yeah, they
planes
are. There's a
and
guy
stuff.
standing in the corner right now.
And I can think of some. Yeah, those will have. They'll probably have to put a. They'll have to. What do they call it when they, not regulate, but you'll have to register.
Yeah.
If you have one of
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
because I could see.
Yeah.
Certain types of people getting a hold of those and just hanging out where they probably shouldn't be.
Yes. No.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But anyway, that is super cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Invisibility. That's one of those wishes. It's like if you could have one type of superpower, it's always either fly or be invisible.
Yeah.
Seems like it's always those two.
I would like to fly instead of being invisible.
Yeah, I would like to fly too.
Because if I could fly, I want people to see me flying. I can fly! I can fly!
And see, and I've seen Hollow Man too, so I know what can happen if you can't see your own
Yeah.
face in a mirror.
Yeah.
You don't have to be responsible.
Is
for
that
anything,
Kevin
right?
Bacon?
That is Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
The original was not
Yeah.
too bad. I remember
Yeah.
that was a pretty good movie. They've made some sequels have not done well. Cool.
So I just found out
Yes.
the Army has an initiative. The official name is called the Mad Scientist Initiative. And they're going to science fiction writers to get ideas for futuristic, for
That's cool.
different weapons and different things that they will need.
Really?
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did somebody mention? Now this is going to prove that I probably didn't listen to somebody. But Jules Verne doing newscasts.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
that's also from in 1889. Jules Verne predicted an alternative to newspapers that is spoken to subscribers who, from interesting conversations with reporters, all that stuff. I mean, that's so
cool.
killer. Jules Verne, man,
Wow.
what was he eating?
Man, no
I
joke.
mean, well, him and
The other guy.
H.G. Wells.
Ray Bradbury. I mean, he has
Bradbury,
tons.
yeah.
That we
Gene
mention.
Roddenberry. Star Trek.
Virtual reality rooms. Ray Bradbury. I mean, there's tons of stuff.
Somebody that was a huge science fiction writer about that. Well, maybe not that far back, but L. Ron Hubbard.
Yes.
We all know what
Yeah.
he's popular for.
Yes.
They said he wrote over 1,000 science fiction novels during his time. Yeah.
And created his own religion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he spoke of that before it ever came. He said he had to do it to keep his money. The government can get it. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Anyway.
It'll be interesting to see what they come up with, you know.
Yeah.
I can't wait to find out what's next.
Of what?
I'm just going with the flow.
We need a 3D imagery coming off of our smartwatches.
I mean, soon we're gonna have 3D printers printing 3D printers, and that's gonna be how they make the moon base.
Well, that's how we're gonna colonize. Yeah, and we're not gonna colonize with humans. We're gonna colonize with basically our technology is going to be to all the different stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Oh, and the Voyager 1, I think as of last year, has entered interstellar space.
Really?
Yeah.
So, for everybody out there that doesn't know what that means, what's that mean, Scalf?
It exited our solar system.
There we go. Interstellar. That's our cue to wrap this main event up.
He's been waiting on that the whole time.
All day.
All day.
All night.
All
right.
All night.
So we're gonna stick a fork in that. So that's our main event for this episode: science fiction preceding science fact.
If we missed any, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you can call us at 812-297-8801.
Yeah,
And
let
Scalf
us know
will
your
answer.
favorites.
You can also leave messages on Facebook, can't you?
Facebook.com/nerdoutcast.
Yeah.
You can email us at nerdoutcast4@gmail.com.
Yeah. There you go. If you get the chance, like us, give us 5 stars on iTunes. And when you call us on the phone, don't yell at us too much about getting things wrong. Yeah.
We're doing Siebel Truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not done. We just kind of rolled into this. So that's done. We're not going to do any randomness this week. Just because making Rick mad. Rick's got some really good randomness. But we're going to hang on to that till next week.
It's getting late.
Good.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Seeable Truth segment.
Seeable Truth segment.
Boom.
So yeah, I was racking my brain this week as we were approaching this amazing topic of science fiction proceeds science fact. And I thought, when it comes to biblical things, when it comes to the realm of Christianity, we have a word that means something said at one point that is way before it actually happens. What's that called in Christianity?
Prophecy.
Prophecy. So, thank you.
Good
job.
Good Scalp.
Good job. So
I was stumbling a little bit there.
I love this illustration. You know, it comes to, for instance, messianic prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Jesus, you know, things that were said hundreds of years before it actually happened. You know, just in you know, let's just say 8 prophecies about a Jesus. So these were things, you know, for instance, the Messiah will be born in Bethlehem. A messenger will prepare the way for the Messiah. The Messiah will enter Jerusalem as a king riding on a donkey. Messiah will be betrayed by a friend and suffer wounds in his hands. Messiah will be betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. Betrayal money will be used to purchase a field, potter's field. The Messiah will remain silent while he is afflicted. The Messiah will die by having his hands and feet pierced. Okay, that's just 8. Depends on who you talk to. You know, there's over 100 of these prophecies about Jesus. A lot of them they did in one day. What's really cool is when, if you ever, I think we've all heard this because I think I've used this in sermons, but Peter Stoner studied this, a mathematician, on the probability that one person would be able to have 8 of those fulfilled in their lifetime. You know, so and actually, if you ever read his book, it's there was a revision in the 60s. I think that you can still find, and it has a updated forward from a secular society who checked the math and said that everything done in Peter Stoner's book was up to code. Was right. He used all the mathematical stuff in a right way. So you break all that down, and for instance, if he fulfilled over 108, so it was something spoken of him hundreds of years before it ever happened. The chances of fulfilling 16 is 1 in 10 to the 45th power.
That's a lot of zeros.
When you get to a total of 48, the odds increase from 1 to 10, 1 in 10 to the 157th power. And yet 108. Man. So and then there's a really neat illustration here when you actually put it into a way that you can think of it, because we cannot comprehend that number.
Mm-mm.
I mean, we can't. So Stoner illustrated this way. He asked the reader to imagine filling the state of Texas knee-deep in silver dollars. Include in this huge number of one silver dollar with a black check mark on it. So you take one silver dollar, put a black check mark on it. Then turn a blindfolded person loose in this sea of silver dollars. The odds that the first coin he would pick up would be the one with the black check mark on it, is the exact same odds of 8 prophecies being fulfilled accidentally in the life of one person. So, I mean, just imagine that. Just Texas filled, and even there's one illustration that, even up to your knees in coins, all, and you riding the plane, you put an X on it, and you throw it out, and you would be able to walk across the state of Texas, and even with a blindfold off, and reach down if the first coin that you pick up has the X on it. I mean, that's insane.
That's mind blowing.
That's insane, but yet it's something that historically is proven. Even if you're out there and you don't believe Jesus is God's son, history says that he was a real person.
Yes.
So I mean, vast amount. I mean, most people, even agnostic historians, scientists, they all agree Jesus was a real person. So then you go beyond that and you get to prophecies about him, and that's the unbelievable, mind-boggling stuff about him. Things that some people would say, well, that's historical fiction, but yet no, it wasn't. It became historical fact in one person. And I don't know, it's just awesome to think about. Great visual to keep in mind who our Savior is.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I always wondered why he stayed silent. I didn't realize it was a prophecy, one of the prophecies.
Yeah.
It's hard to wrap your head around that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's way more. I mean, even, and I did this not too long ago, if you go into Psalm 22, David writes this psalm, and it's a sermon within itself. But he prophesied the Messiah would die by having his hands and feet pierced. That prophecy was written 1,000 years before Jesus was even born. Gosh. And when it was written, when that psalm was written, the Jewish preferred method for execution was stoning. Mm-hmm. So the prophecy was written many years before the Romans perfected crucifixion as a method.
Wow, 1,000 years.
Yeah. So I mean, it happens even in the Christian realm, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And even to extents that we can't even think. But I don't know, just something for everyone to think about and realize how awesome it is.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because it is easy to kind of like, being raised in church, you don't hear a lot of statistics about why Jesus existed and why we should believe. I mean, it's all supposed to be based on faith, but yet you can slap a number to a lot of this stuff to where it makes it, I don't know, more real. Where you go, wow, that's okay, that did happen. That really did exist. I mean, beyond your faith, you can have something tangible to kind of like hang on to, which is kind of important for some people. Mm-hmm. I mean, not everybody, but
proves itself in a lot of ways, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's pretty neat. You agree, Rick?
I do.
Yes. That was good, Stevie.
Yeah. Thanks, Stevie.
That's good, seeable truth.
Bam.
Yes.
Well, Gentlemen, in closing, is there anything that we want to throw out there? I would like to mention that, we are going to be approaching this next weekend is Kong, Skull Island, so...
That Shannon won't get to see.
I probably won't, but I do think it's going to be a good movie, and if you have a chance to see it, go support it.
It's being added to the
Hiles
list of shame right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I got 3. How many do I got to watch there? 1, 2, 3. So it'd be 4.
Wait, did you watch The Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually, you get so behind that.
This is just the movies he didn't see that weekend with everybody.
Yeah, so John Wick 2, I still got to...
And Kong is still hovering around 83% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it really?
That's...
To me, that's surprising. Very surprising.
I mean, was it... Am I saying this right? The last one that was actually... The last Kong movie was the one by Peter Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which did not... Yeah, I think he tried to do a little bit too much with that one.
Yeah.
Still a good movie. I like it.
3 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really long.
I like it, but didn't do as well as what they were hoping.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of money on it.
And this is going to... There's supposedly a scene at the end with Godzilla.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
What is it with Godzilla, or is it something connected to Godzilla?
I think it I was thinking it was you see something coming up out of the ocean. You see like his back or something.
Yeah. I thought it wasn't Godzilla.
Kind of alludes to Godzilla.
Yeah, the critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is offering exhilarating eye candy, solid acting, and fast-paced story. Kong Skull Island earns its spot in the movie monsters mythos without ever matching up to the classic original.
Okay.
Sam Jack.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sam Jack is going to be
and right
another
there.
Yeah, I can't wait.
$100 million movie.
For no other reason this movie should do well is because of Sam Jack being in it.
I
And John
cannot
Goodman.
wait. Oh, John Goodman.
You throw those two in a movie together.
Mm-hmm. Him and 10 Cloverfield Lane was...
He was good in that.
He's kind of scary, man.
Yeah.
He is. He's intense.
Yeah,
He can play just about anything. Play the
Did
good
you
guy,
see that?
bad guy, crazy guy. What? Yes.
You saw it the first weekend?
Yes, I was there. What? That wasn't on the list. I saw it. I swear I saw it.
What, 10 Cloverfield? I didn't. I didn't see it on rental.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, man. I enjoyed
It was
it.
good.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen.
Is that it?
We'll call it good.
All right. If you want to leave us a voicemail, it could possibly be played on the podcast.
Yes.
812-297-8801.
Yep.
If you want to send us an email, give us some ideas, things to talk about, nerdoutcast4@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/nerdoutcast. Yeah, /nerdoutcast.
Mm-hmm.
And give us a high rating on iTunes. 5 stars, please.
5 stars, please.
5 stars.
I mean, we do give everybody a 5-star podcast. It's
true.
highly professional.
That's true.
Yeah, this is great content.
Yes.
And we're not even boasting.
No, not at all.
And all strictly true. Everything we say is...
We not only speak these things, we listen to it as well.
That's
Yes.
true. We do. All right. Well, everybody take care. Have a good week. May the force be with you. And keep it happy.
Bye.
About this. Rick, do the math. Light travels at roughly 186,000 miles per second.
Okay.
So 4 years in a second for 4 years. Right. Yeah. So